In Athens, it's a victory for the face of the old guard. Kyriakos Mitsotakis is a former prime minister's son, and he heads the center-right New Democracy Party, a decades-long political mainstay. Now he's vowing to renew Greece with a pro-business agenda by slashing taxes, attracting investment, and taming bureaucracy.
I want a strong Greece with self-confidence that will claim the place in Europe it deserves and not be a beggar or an object of pity.
But Mitsotakis' list of challenges at home is long and by now familiar. Greece's 18% unemployment rate is the Eurozone's highest. And Greece remains under tough budget targets from its creditors even after exiting its bailout programs. Outgoing Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras swept to power promising to stand up to those creditors. But his popularity declined as he caved to their demands and imposed painful reforms.
A large and difficult circle is drawing to a close. We are now going to evaluate soberly what was right, as well as the mistakes we made. As always, I will not refuse to accept my own responsibility.
Sunday's results dealt blows both to Tsipras' left-wing Syriza party and to the extreme right Golden Dawn. It didn't clear the hurdle to re-enter parliament. As Greece continues to seek a path out of economic turmoil, voters have handed a win to the traditional mainstream.
DW's Georg Mattis has been covering the elections in Greece for us, and he joins me now from Athens. Welcome, Georg. Big changes in Athens. The whole political gravity seems to be shifting to the center. How's that gone down in the Greek capital?
Here in the heart of Athens, on the main square just outside Parliament, I could hardly see any excitement, neither today nor throughout the election night yesterday, over this sea change in Greek politics. And that's very different from the time when Alexis Tsipras took power, where people were really excited, where hopes were high. It is just that resignation with Greek voters runs really deep after four tough years of austerity they had to endure.
You see that this is now the first post-bailout government for Greece. Mitsotakis is making big promises, tax cuts, more jobs. But how much leeway does he have to do things differently?
Two challenges Mitsotakis really faces. One is, of course, he will have to honor the terms and conditions for the latest bailout package made by international and by European creditors. And he said he will honor this agreement, while at the same time he has promised, as you have said, Greek voters big tax cuts, more jobs, something that particularly the young people in Greece really hope for. I went with my colleague Barbara Wesel to an island just off the coast of Athens, Aegina, which is just a short ferry ride, really to see what voters make of their new government. Fishing around Aegina, an island just off the coast of Athens. Stelios Labadarios runs the boat with his father. He's the third generation of his family to make his living on the water. Today he's taken his friend, Yorgos Pepas, along for company.
We had a lot of people on the sea. That job was fishing or on the sea. And now, nobody at my age or a little bit more bigger, they don't stay. And it's not very good because we have islands. A lot of tourists come to see our islands. And in 10 years, nobody will be on the fishing. What will they come to see?
Stelios hopes tourism will save his family's business. Around 30,000 small fishermen like him are fighting for survival in the face of declining stocks and hard economic times. His friend Yorgos wants the new government to deliver change quickly after years of tax increases and cuts in public spending.
I think that tax payments are not fair with us. It's more fair to the rich people than to the mid or to the lower class people. I'm expecting this as well from the new government.
Many in Aegina hope the new government will cut taxes, especially the widely unpopular real estate tax. The incoming Prime Minister, Mitsotakis, also wants to attract more investment and create jobs. Promises that Vicky Paraskevou has heard over and over again. She's been looking for work for years. Today she's praying for a miracle from Aegina's patron saint. She hopes he will help Kyriakos Mitsotakis to finally bring change.
Everybody promise. This is the politicals. They promise. But now things are very difficult. He has to do it. If he will not do what he promised, he will have very big problem from the people. We are not like before. We are not like before. We don't forgive.
Setting a course for economic recovery. Many believe the new government has just one chance to get it right. 500,000 young Greeks have already left the country due to the economic crisis. But that's something these two friends don't want to do. They plan to stay on and fight for a better future.
So, Georg, as we saw in your report, high expectations of the incoming government. But what does this election defeat mean for the outgoing government of Alexis Tsipras? He came with such high hopes in 2015 with his tiny little Syriza party. Why was he punished by the voters?
Look, Amrita, from a European perspective, Alexis Tsipras has really shifted from a radical far-left politician to an acknowledged and recognized center-left statesman. And that is for two reasons. He saw through the economic reforms where he set out to abolish when he started his campaign in becoming prime minister in Greece. So really moving from an anti-establishment, anti-austerity government to one that embraced those reforms. And that did lead Greece back on a path of economic recovery, but just not enough for voters so to appreciate that change. And then also he made some domestic decisions, settling a name row with the neighboring North Macedonia, something that didn't go down with nationalists didn't go down well at all with nationalists in Greece. Many people criticized him for this. So changes he made that made him recognized in Europe, but many people in Greece are therefore critical of him.
And finally, Georg, another interesting aspect of this election is that the Golden Dawn, which is the far-right party, has been kicked out of parliament. Did that come as a surprise?
Not exactly, because the party has legal problems here in Greece, and that has been challenging it throughout the past couple of years. And also there's a new right-wing party that has siphoned off those voices. So really also overall you have a change back towards traditional, more mainstream parties in Greece. All of that explains why the Golden Dawn is no longer in parliament.
Georg Matis covering the Greek elections for us. Thank you very much for that update from Athens.